10 everyday things you don't know what their actual purpose is. Many common objects we see every day have secret features that can do all sorts of cool things. You just have no idea that they're there. So, we're going to tell you today. Those little buttons on your jeans, marks on your tires, the tab at the end of your measuring tape. You know what we're talking about. But you don't know exactly what they do. But before we begin, welcome to Jaybird Daily. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. Let's get started. Number 1. The arrow on gas gauge. Have you ever noticed a tiny arrow next to the fuel pump icon on your car's gas gauge? Well, if you have, but were never really quite sure what it meant, here's the little secret. That little arrow tells you which side of your car the fuel cap is located on. Brilliant, right? It's a helpful feature especially if you're driving a rental car, but also pretty handy in your day-to-day life if you're one of those people who can just never remember whenever you pull into a gas station. Number 2. The little holes in the windows of planes. It sounds nuts, but it's necessary for plane windows to have small holes, usually located at the bottom of the inner layer. This is to compensate for the huge pressure difference between the inside and outside of the plane as it takes off and cruises at high altitude, so that the outer window doesn't have to do all the work. The other purpose is to prevent the window from fogging up. Number 3. Hole on a pen lids. You've probably never given this much thought, or if you have, you've probably brushed it off as some random design feature that regulates air pressure or stops ink from drying out. Yes, having a hole on there does allow you to close the lid properly without the air pressure issue. But it also serves another simple yet ingenious purpose, reducing the risk of choking deaths. It turns out a whole lot of people do chop on pen lids, and that can lead to lids getting accidentally swallowed and lodged in the windpipe, with potentially fatal consequences. By simply adding a larger hole to the top of the lid, pen companies increased airflow and the chance that people would still be able to breathe even if that happens, a design feature that, quite literally, saves lives. Number 4. Metal bit at the end of measuring tape. On nearly every measuring tape, you'll find a small slot on the end hook. It's there to grab onto the end of a nail or screw. This way, if you're measuring a flat surface and don't have anyone to hold the other end of the tape, you just need to hammer in the nail or insert a screw and hook the end of the tape onto it to get a clear and accurate measurement. The other purpose, if you're measuring something and don't have a marking tool handy, you can use the serrated edge to make a mark by running it back and forth on whatever you're measuring. Number 5. Mini jean pocket. Have you ever wondered why that tiny pocket on the front of your jeans exists? For the most part, it's too small to be functional, unless you're keen on carrying around a lucky penny with you. The little pocket, or the fifth pocket as some denim designers call it, appeared on the very first version of Levi's back in 1873. It was originally included as protection for pocket watches, thus the name. It worked into the design to protect cowboys' pocket watches from falling out of their pants as they rode around on horses or worked on their ranches. Wearing it on a chain around their neck would cause it to easily tangle or break. Number 6. The ridges on the F and J buttons on a computer keyboard. They are designed to help users locate the correct keys without looking down. The reason why only these keys have ridges is to help users place their hands in the optimum typing position. With your index fingers on the two ridged keys, your left hand covers A, S, D and F while the right covers J, K, L and colon. Both thumbs then rest on the space bar. Number 7. The hole near iPhone camera. The iPhone has a hole next to its rear camera lens. It's easy to miss because it's so small, and you might never have noticed it before. It's one of the 3 microphones on the device. It might seem bizarre to have a microphone at the top of your phone, but apparently it has been put on the back and front of the iPhone to improve the quality of apps like FaceTime. When using the app, You may hold the phone at a funny angle or end up inadvertently covering the main microphone at the bottom. Therefore, these added microphones pick up more sound and make it clearer. Number 8. Marks between your tire treads. Feed marks work as safety feature. It represents the minimum height of your tread. If it gets lower than this, then your tire is no longer safe to drive on. Every performance, light truck, or medium commercial tire comes equipped with indicator bars, or wear bars, embedded between the tread ribs at 2/32 of an inch. They're there to help you monitor tread depth and make decisions about tire replacement. Number 9. Hat pom-pom. If you are wondering what the pom-pom at the top of some winter hats is for, Sandno can trace it back to early sailors. Now they are just used for decorations. However, they used to be used by French Marines in the 18th century. They would cushion their heads if it hit the ship's low ceilings in the cabin. Now you know. Number 10. The blue part of the eraser. When our seniors told us that the blue end of the eraser could help us correct our mistakes we made with our pens, it blew our naive little minds. We tried it and we all failed, miserably. That is a lie that has its place right next to Santa Claus is real and the popular game, I Spice, is actually I Spy. We were confused about this whole issue but we finally found a conclusive answer to the question. The blue end is meant for erasing pencil marks on heavy grades of paper or dark marks. The soft end, pink, orange, is useful for light grades of paper which the hard gridded side would tear apart, and also for precision erasing, such as removing a light stray mark from among dark marks. On grainy art paper, pencil marks are a pain to remove. The blue end of the eraser is tough and it doesn't wither away on being used on a more coarse form of paper.